Invest your 6 months. Trust the entire journey. Trust the material and trust the classes. It is our responsibility to give you a JRF.
Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers Adda. Guys, those who are new in this channel, please do subscribe to this channel, and this session is going to be like very practical session is going to be there. Even though you can look at the title, all types of validity, reliability. Many a time this question is being repeated in the almost every exam of the UGC NET and every shift it is coming. So at least one or more new types of validity or reliability is being asked in the examination. So today I will be covering all the types of reliability, validity types, as well as the related questions, concepts also will be covered, like a new types of reliability also recently been asked, right? So that also I will be covering up. So try to concentrate on the total session. Stay till the end of the session. I will be covering within a very less time only. So I hope audio, video, everything is clear. Let us look into the session. Hello guys, good evening. Kindly hit a like button. Total, if you look at the entire validity and research types, validity are based on the content, face validity, criteria which is divided into predictive and concurrent validity. Congruent is of two type, again convergent and divergent, which is discriminant validity. And reliability is again based on the consistency, based on the stability. Test and retest and parallel form, as well as internal and split off method. This is internal is nothing but internal item also. Internal item. So let's see. One by one I am going to explain, guys. Concentrate very carefully. I will go from the scratch till the advanced level I will take you. And I will give you the statements from where the NTA have taken a direct statements also. I am going to show you the IGNO material. From that only I prepared entire this material, and I will be showing an extension of this content whatever I am going to teach today. First, what do you mean by validity in the research? What do you mean by validity in the research? So here validity means fulfillment of objective. Fulfillment of what? Objectives. Objective of research. So it refers to the degree to which a test measures what it claims to measure. What it claims to measure. Whatever we are intended for measuring, are we reaching our objective or not? To reach our objective, what we have to do? We have to measure the thing whatever we intended or prepared to measure. Right? That is an accuracy, and it is very necessary for the test to be valid for its proper administration and interpretation. So if something test is valid means then we can interpret that results of the test and analysis and final conclusion we can draw. So according to the various authors, Cronbach, validity is an extent to which a test measures what it purports to measure. What it purports to measure means what it claims to measure or not, whether it is meeting the objective without any biasness or not. Next one is that as per the Freeman, it is an index of the validity shows the degree to which a test measures what it purports to measure when compared to with acceptable criteria. Means he tried to give the criterion validity. And as per the Anastasia, validity of a test concerned what the test measures and how well it does so. So he concentrating on how. Out of all this definition, the final conclusion is that test must be compared with some ideal independent measures or a criteria. So when you compare the result of this test, if you can compare with the criteria or standards which you made up, then if it is giving accurate results, if it is getting related, if the correlation is very strong, then that results are valid in nature. Right? Now, let me go into the types of validity. Look at once over here on the left side, Kirk and Miller, most important 2021 question. New types of reliability. He gave an example from the physical world. Suppose a thermometer shows that reading of a 82 degrees Celsius every time it is plunged in a boiling water. So every time how much it is giving? 82 degrees Celsius. Thermometer is showing in a boiling water. It is obvious that something is reliable, that based on the thermometer test is reliable because it is giving a same result. But a thermometer that gives a different readings near about 100 degree. So one time it is giving 82 degree, later it is giving 100 degrees Celsius, later it is giving 90 degrees Celsius, later it is giving 110 degrees Celsius. Now how we can rely upon this one? How we can rely upon this one? We cannot rely upon this type of result because it is not getting repeated. The results are not getting same results we are not getting. So each time it is placed in boiling water may not be reliable, but it is having a certain quite validity. How it is valid? Because in other words, validity refers to the truth value of a finding. Are we finding a truth value? Yes. For this boiling of the water, 82 degrees is truth. And for the 100 degrees, that is the truth. At this point, this is the truth. At this point, this is the truth. Every time we may getting the different results. But this is valid in nature because it is claiming whatever intended to claim. But this is not reliable results. This is not reliable results. Are you getting the point? This is not reliable results. So, final conclusion is that when the results are getting a same result, that is reliability, the consistency in results. But when it is giving a true results, the truth value of a finding, this is the true value of a findings. These are all valid only but not reliable in nature. So for a piece of research to be judged objective, it has to be both reliable and valid. So in such case, we cannot go with this result because every research should be supported by the validity and reliability must and should be there in the research. Alright. Now, types of validity. First one, types of validity. Look at. Many types are there, but out of that, if you can categorize them in this way. Content validity, criterion related validity are two types. Criteria is of concurrent validity, predictive validity. Again, third one is that construct validity. Construct is of three types: convergent, divergent or discriminate, and nomological validity. Next one is that face validity and factorial validity. So total 7 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like this total 10 are there, but obviously these are subcategories. We can categorize them as an 5 categories total, broad categories. Right? So now, are you ready for one by one discussion? Most important. You will enjoy like anything. That is my assurance today. Let us do. First one, content validity. Name itself is saying content means a theory. Remember what do you mean by content? Content is a concept. Content means a theory. So based on this word only you can understand entire thing. According to the MC Burney and White, it is a notion that a test should be a sample range of behavior that is represented by the theoretical concept being measured. So whatever the theory concept behind the every type of test or the subject, so when you are able to measure that theoretical concept, that validity is called as an content validity. That validity is called as an content validity. When you are in a position to measure the theoretical concept of the particular subject which is there under the study, that is called as an content validity. Look at an intelligent test which will be attributed only in the event of it succeeding discovering all the factors that are concerned with the intelligence. Actually, intelligence is a theoretical concept, right? How can you measure the intelligence? There should be some base, and the subject is that intelligence is there, which is a theoretical concept. The theoretical concept we have to measure. If we are in a position to measure this intelligence by conducting a test, that is content validity type. That is content validity type. Right? Now here another example also been written. If a researcher wanted to develop achievement test of a spelling for a third grade children who is studying a third class, for them achievement test of a spelling, spell bee contest will be there now. How they are telling the spellings, whether they are telling the correct spellings or not. That type of test, this is comes under the behavior only, behavior of a child. So then a researcher could identify nearly all the possible words that a third grade children should know. After identifying all the words which a third grade or third class student should know, then only you can conduct this test. That means you must frame the theoretical concept first, which are the coverage under your study, which are having a scope under your study. So then individual test item may be taken form of a huge group of items that include a broad range of items. Is it clear? This is a type number 1, which is a content validity. Content validity. Simple second example is that being a teacher, I wanted to check my students' spelling achievement, spelling, how many spellings they are able to tell correct. So that means for a third class student, what I will do within his memory capacity, I should identify what are all the words that the third grade student should able to know. I will collect all those words. I will take a test upon that only. That comes under the content validity. Next, criteria validity. First, criteria we know very well. Criteria means it's a standard, it's a parameter. Criteria means a standard. So criteria validity is an idea. A test should relate closely to the other measures of the same theoretical concept, which is already same theoretical concept might have been conducted or already proved concept is there. So whatever the test that you are conducting now, after getting a result, that result will be compared with the previous theoretical of the same related concept. Then that is called as a criteria, which is a standard comparison. A valid test of a intelligence should correlate highly with other intelligent test. Already some other intelligent test might have conducted. So your intelligent test results will be compared with the previous intelligent test results. Then obviously the correlation, if it is very strong, your test is valid. If it is not very strong, then we cannot say it is valid. Right? So if a test demonstrates effective predicting criteria or the indicators of the construct, then it is said to be a possess a criteria related validity or a proper validity. Otherwise, we should reject and perform the retest. Right? Next, criteria is of two types. We know very well criteria is of two types. Criteria validity. One is concurrent validity. Second one is that predictive validity. Now look at concurrent. Concurrent means it is found that measures are achieved at the same time as the test scores. At the same time as the test scores. So here it reflects the degree to which whatever the test scores that estimated the individual present status with regard to the criteria. So let's take an example to make it more clear. That is, if a test measures an anxiety, it would be said to have concurrent validity if rightly reflects the current level of the anxiety experienced by the individual. Anxiety I just wanted to measure, number one. Once if I am testing anxiety level of a person, it would have been a concurrent validity if it rightly reflects the current level of anxiety experienced by the individual, And this concurrent evidence of a test validity is usually desirable for achievement test and diagnostic clinical test also. So simply comparison of the test scores, whatever the already previous test scores will be there now, which you are having anxiety level which are previous, like a doctor will perform. Doctor when he do now, first when you go for a first time, he will take the blood pressure as well as everything and the fever, all the things he will take it up. Later he will ask you to come after the 3 days. Then he will compare, he will do the testing again, he will compare that and this results. That's what a concurrent validity. But here timing is more important. At the same time the test scores are being comparable. Right? So next, usually this will be applied in achievement, that is a behavioral test and clinical test. Whereas now predictive means a future. So this validity occurs when criteria measures are obtained at a time after the test. This is estimations here will be there. Here actually if a test measures, it would be have concurrent validity if it reflects the current level of anxiety experienced by the individual. So current level of anxiety we have to know, then only we can able to compare the scores at the same time. But here after the test only, the results which are obtained, the measures which are obtained at a time after the test. Now look at the same example over here, not different example. Aptitude tests are useful to identify who will be more likely to succeed or fail in a particular subject. Who will be more likely to succeed or fail. Aptitude test will be there, like it could be a quantitative or qualitative. Predictive validity is particularly relevant to the entrance examination and occupational test. Majorly entrance examination like our UGC NET or the Ph.D entrance or any other NET entrance, and all these exams are there. In these cases, we will be using predictive validity. When criteria measures are obtained at a time after the test. At a time after the test. At a time, same time. Two different words. Same time, at a time. Like a UGC NET. For the future prediction. Chalo. This is, I would say this is based on the estimations. This is based on the previous data which is experienced by the individual at the current level. Current level is a concurrent. Future is a predictive. Now next, construct validity, most important. So here construct validity is a complex somehow as compared to remaining. MC Burney and White again define the construct validity as an property of a test that measurement of actually measures the construct that they are designed to measure. This is looking like all the same definitions are there, but everything is having their significance. There are several ways to determine whether the test generate that have a construct validity is not. Construct means building something by. Remember this. Construct means building something. Correct na? Creating something. Generating something, building something, all are comes under the construct. Now here, the test should actually measure whatever theoretical construct it supposedly test and not something else. A test of leadership ability should not actually extraversion. Should not actually test a extraversion, because leadership ability is an introversion. This is an introversion. Leadership ability is an introversion. We should actually check the introversion only. We should create the introversion constructive test rather than extraversion, because if you are taking extraversion, that leadership ability will not get to know. Ability is a one's own individual internal ability. Ability cannot be an external one. So here a test that construct validity should measure what it intends to measure, but not the measure theoretically, which must be a practical measure, because theoretical measure is an content validity. This is a practical measure is an constructive validity. A musical aptitude should not require too much reading ability, because music is the one which we'll do by practice. That is a physical movement, practical movement will happen. There is nothing to deal with a reading ability or reading capacity of a person. Right? So here, a test should prove useful in predicting the results related to a theoretical concept it is measuring. But it is not about the theoretical concept measurement only. You can see, this is here we are saying not theoretically important. We are looking at in the point of practicality. A test of musical ability should predict who will benefit from taking music lessons, should differentiate a groups who have chosen music as a career from those who have not, haven't, should relate to the other test of the musical ability, and so on. So here the point we need to understand in the last paragraph is that we are trying to test the theoretical concept, but giving more importance to the practical aspect of implementation or practical aspect of ability of a person. And here two examples are written over here. Sorry, two categories of people are there. Music ability should predict who will benefit from taking a music lesson. Who will benefit? Who is interested in the career of the music only, they will get benefit. Other people will not get a benefit. So why we have to take other people who are not even interested in the music? We will not take them into consideration. We will take only the people who will be in the music career, they will be chosen for it. Actually, below one is not visible. This board is having some problem. Sometimes it is capturing thing. Done. So this is about construct. So three types of construct validity is there. That is convergent, divergent, and nomological. Divergent, other name is that discriminate. Convergent is extent to which correlation is positive in nature. When no correlation, that is discriminant or divergent. Nomological is something different which we compare with a theoretical way. Let me tell you three ways. So here a group of employees takes a series of 5 assessment, all of which are designated test their abilities as a salesperson through different type of question. Here correlation is positive. Why? Very strong correlation is there. Very strong correlation. Why it is very strong correlation? Because we are taking a same test for all, same concept we are using with other measures of the same construct, and when a scores are obtained between the two different instrument measuring the same concept, here the concept is same, what? Salesperson through different type of question. We are measuring with a different type of question, but the concept is that ability of a salesperson only we wanted to know. Ability of a same person only we have to know. Concept is same, but the instrument for a testing we are using is different. It is giving a positive relation. If this scale is giving a positive result, that is called as a convergent validity. If you are using a same concept but a different techniques of a testing, then that is going to give you highly correlative relationship between the variables. Next is that discriminant validity. It does not correlate with the other construct from which it is supposed to differ. So when there is a difference occurs, suppose if it is having a same test and the results are coming everything fine, that is highly correlated convergent validity. Whenever they are not correlating, whenever they are getting differed from each other, even though it is the same theory, obviously that comes under the divergent or discriminant validity. It established when, based on the theory, two variables are predicted to be uncorrelated and the scores are obtained by them are indeed empirically found to be so different in nature. When it is different, then obviously no correlation. When there is no association between the variables, that will not be having any validity. That validity is called as an divergent or discriminant validity. Now look at nomological validity is an scale correlates theoretically predicted ways with a measures of different but related construct only. You will not understand by looking at this statement. A comparison of a human aging and the memory loss. Look at the things. Human aging and memory loss. Based on the age, whether memory is going to last. Let us look at the same statement again. Theoretically, predicted ways with a measures of different but related concepts. Here, human aging and memory loss are events which can occur. Appear they are looking like somehow there is a relationship that is existed between these two elements or two variables, but they are not directly related. Look at the point. Looking like this both the human aging and memory loss. As the age is increasing, memory will get lost or not. That looking like both are very related one, but not directly related. Their indirect way of a relation is there. Indirect way of a relation. So that's what the nomological. There is no direct relationship when it is existed between the two theoretical variables. When you are in a position to establish a relationship in an indirect way, which is indicating a nomological validity. Which is indicating a nomological validity. That's about. Next, phase validity is a very easy one, which is a basic one. So phase validity, what appears to measure superficially, it depends on the judgment of the researcher. Actually here, this is scrutinized and modified until the researcher is satisfied to accurate measure of a desired construct. Here example is that mathematical test consisting of problems in which test taker has to add and subtract the numbers. Add and subtract the numbers too. May be considered as a strong phase validity. Means in the mathematical test, what we'll consider? In the mathematical test, we are going to consider either addition or a subtraction which they given. Which type of testing they are going to take it up? If it is addition or a subtraction test, then this is enough. Now adding and subtraction is enough. So when you are in a position to add or subtract the numbers, that will be having a phase validity, which is by looking at the phase only. By looking at the concept directly. Until unless you are getting accurate results now, you can modify this test. Until unless you are getting accurate result, you can modify and change the variables as many times as you want. So this determination of phase validity is a subjective opinion because this is based on the entire concept. Right? Next, a factorial validity, which is a final type of validity. Factorial validity, which is a final type. This is a degree to which covariance of a measured items matches with a real covariance or a behaviors in real life. So let's put the definition aside. Understand the concept. Understand the example. A test that asks a student questions about French movies is not valid measure of the student mathematical ability. I wanted to measure what? Mathematical ability of a student. Here my question is what? French movies. About the French movies I am asking. They will say, "Arey sir, do you have a mind at least? What you are talking? Do you know what you are asking and what you wanted to test? You wanted to test about the mathematical ability of us, then you are asking about the French movies. How this can be related? How this can be related? This would be an invalid measurement. This will be an invalid measurement. So factor validity is related to context validity, which how well do the question item represents the construct being researched. The questions must be within the research area only, the research which is being undergone. So if the questions are asking beyond or which are not even related to your study, then that is out of the validity. If something which is in the context of the research study, those type of question if you are asking and if you are taking a test, that is factorial validity. The factors which are under the study. The factors which are under the study. Right? So that's about the all types of validity. If you understood, then you must answer these 5 questions which are listed over here. Fill the blanks. First, one by one. And do hit a like button side by side. If a test measures what it purpose to measure, if a test is correlated against a criteria to be made available at the present time, it is a type of validity known as dash. The property of a test that measurement actually measures the construct they have designed to measure are known as. First one is validity as per you. What is the second one? What is the second one? Batavo. Guys, do join in my Telegram group. The link is pinned in the chat box and given in the description also. And if it is not working, go to the Telegram, type 𝐻𝐵. Second one is criteria validity. बढ़िया भाई, super, excellent. Next, third one, the property of a test that measurement actually measures the construct that they are designed to measure. Designed to measure. Third is a construct validity. Oh, understood well. A test should sample the range of behavior represented by theoretical concept being tested is known as. Fourth one answer, please. What is the fourth one answer? Fourth, content. Okay. Fifth one, please. This is face validity. Now look at the answer. First one validity, second one is criteria, third one construct, fourth one content, and face validity final. Clear? Who got 5 by 5? Please type 5 by 5. Who got 5 by 5? Now let us go into the reliability. Let us go into the reliability. First, what do you mean by reliable? What do you mean by reliable? Reliability means consistent. Reliability means a consistent. So when the results are consistent, means repeatability must be there. Repeatability. If I got some health issue, I went to doctor number 1. He tested my BP. He tested my BP and he given something. The value A. Value A he given. Immediately for the next 15 minutes, I went to doctor number 2. He also tested. Suppose in the 100 BP is there. First one, doctor number 1. And doctor number 2, when I went him, he gave 90. Doctor number 3 gave 85. Doctor number 4 given 120. Now, you tell me whether this, whatever the BP mission is there now, is it a perfect parameter or a perfect tool to measure? Can we believe on this? Can we believe on this? I cannot believe this BP mission because that is not giving a same results. By tool is same, doctor is getting differed, test is conducted same test, how the results are getting differed? Then I got a doubt about my BP. Which one is correct? I am getting a doubt about my BP. So in such a case, that is not a reliable one. This we cannot relay. This is not a evidential, which is not supporting the conclusion. So reliability means it's clearly about the consistency of the same results. Research should be reliable if when repeated, using the same method, it brings the same results. Same method, same results. So here, how accurate profile of a social life one able to get? This is in the context of social research. If you talk about social psychological research, how accurate a profile of social life one is able to get? Whether their conclusions are reached are representative or enough to applicable to everyone or not. Because when it is applied to some people, it will apply to all the people. That is external validity or reliability. Is it possible to repeat the research if others want to carry out, and will there be a similar results? So if other wanted to carry out, will there be a similar results? Means repeatable results. But rather than all these things, only 2 points which will give you. Only 2 points. That is, consistency and precision are the two ideas which will figure about the reliability. Consistency means obtained results are similar responses to the same questions, same circumstances. If you are getting a same answer, that is consistent. Precision means one has to know how systematic in the form of data, that is based on asking people questions about things that they know little about it. So how systematic the form of data, the proper data that we collected which will be useful for the testing purpose, and that is based on the asking a people questions about things that they are little known about. So if you are going to ask something which is about the UGC NET to a beta candidate, will they tell? Please tell. Will they give you the answer? Actually, they know anything about the UGC NET. They don't know anything about the UGC NET. So you must collect a data. You must collect a type of a data from the people who knows about your study topic. If they don't know about your research study topic, then if you are collecting a data from them, that is a irrelevant data. That is a irrelevant data and unnecessary data. That is not even required. So precision means you collect the data in a systematic way from the people who are your participants of your study, who are related to your study only. You must take it up. If you are checking these two things now, you can find about the reliability. Now ye to damn sure question by look at reliability is an indication of the stability, means a repeatability, and the consistency means a homogeneity in result, same results. Instrument measures the concept and help to assess the goodness of a measure. Now look at carefully. I am going to give two conclusions majorly. The relationship. Valid test should be reliable if it is measuring a validity. Valid test should be reliable if it is measuring a validity. Reliable test may not be valid. Reliable test may not be valid. And validity is more important than the reliability. Validity is more important than the reliability. Look at, suppose this is an so this is totally the reliability Venn diagram. The bigger one is a reliability. Next, this is validity. This is validity. So reliability is when something valid, it must be reliable, because within the validity, the all reliable things only will be there. And when something valid, it is reliable. But when something reliable, it may not be valid and it may be valid. That is what I am writing. Maybe isn't this portion is valid. May not be isn't this portion is not valid. So when something which is reliable may be valid, may not be valid. But when something is valid, it must be reliable always. It must be reliable always. And validity is more important as compared to reliability, because validity is the upper one which will be supporting the accuracy or the reliability. Right? So now if you go with this, valid test should be reliable. Valid test should be reliable. That is what I learned. We learned now. Reliable test may not be valid. May or may not be valid. and valid is more important than reliability. So to be useful, an instrument must be both reasonably valid as well as reliability, because these are the two important characteristics of the research. And aim for the validity first, then try to make the test more and more reliable by testing again and again. Again and again you can achieve that. Look at these diagrams very carefully. There are 4 situations which are here. Look at the diagram. Reliable but not valid. Reliable but not valid. So this is having a reliability, but the validity is over here. This is reliable. Tests are getting a same results but not valid. They are not valid. Why they are not valid? Because validity is over here and your reliable things are over here. Not valid. So this is only reliable but not valid. So we cannot take this into consideration. And valid not reliable. This is here. Look at the blue color lines. The blue color is reliable ones and valid means red color. Right? Valid means a red color. This is valid in situation to some extent. Look at, because something is there. This is valid but not reliable in all case. Not reliable. Why it is not reliable? It is not at a one place. Why? This is totally scattered. The reliability is scattered. How we can say this is reliable or not reliable? But we can say only this situation here it is there. Now this is valid and reliable only for this. Remaining things are not valid and not reliable. Now look at neither reliable nor valid. Neither reliable nor valid is in this situation because nothing is related over here. So this is a neither reliable nor valid situation. Now both, everything within the context of the validity. Within the validity circle, reliable points also there and valid points also there. This is the one which we needed in research, not all these 3 things. Eliminate those 3. Right? Now they are dispersed or scattered. Type of validity. How many types of validity which are famous? 4 types of validity is there. 4 types of validity is there. Those are test and retest, parallel or alternative form, and internal or inter-item consistency, split of reliability. Let us understand one by one. First one, stability type are 2 types. Stability types of test are 2 types. Whereas internal consistency tests are 2 types. That is internal item as well as split of method of reliability. And here, stability is defined as a ability of a measure remain same over a period of time. Same over a period of time. Even though time is getting changed, it must be same despite of uncontrolled testing condition. Now those are 2 types, test and retest as well as parallel form or alternative form of reliability. What is test and retest? Name itself is indicating test and retest. Test and retest. So a reliability coefficient obtained by repetition of the same measure on a second time is called as a test and retest. Repetition of a same measure. When a questionnaire containing some items that are supposed to measure a concept is administered to set a respondents now, and after some time ranging from a few days to weeks or a month again administer the same respondents. So I am performing a test on 10 members from this class. Today I am performing a same test on the 10 members and one test on the 10 members. After next week, next Saturday, I am performing the same test on the same respondents. If this first week and second week results are same, that is test and retest reliability. If the first and second week results are getting differed, there is no reliability. Over a period of time, point to be understood, over a period of time, the results has to be repeated. Over a period of time, the results has to be repeated. Not at the same time. Point to be noted, not at the same time. Now, parallel form or alternative form of reliability. Parallel form or alternative form of reliability. When responses on a 2 comparable sets measures tapping the same construct are highly correlated. Tapping the same construct. 2 comparable tests. By in the first one, what I have done? Test 1, test 2, both are same test. Same respondent. Time period different. So here time different. Now here test 1 is different, test 2 is different. Respondents also same construct, same respondents. Test 1, test 2 different, but at the same time. Look at the carefully. Measure tapping the same construct, one highly correlated known as parallel form reliability. It is similar to test and retest method except the sequence of order of questions or the sometimes wording of the questions are changed at the second time. So if two comparable forms are highly correlated, say more than 7, we may fairly certain that the measures are comparable over here. The measures are reasonably reliable. So, visible? So different tests on the same group, different tests you are performing on the same group, because here the questions you are changing, questions you are changing, na? Questions you are changing. First time questions are different, second time questions are different, first time test is different, second time test is different, but on the same respondents you are performing at a different point of time. That comes under the parallel form or alternative form of reliability. Changing of the method will be there. Here the method of test. Method will be different because questions are getting changed at a different point of time. On the same respondents. Same group, on the same group. Next, internal or inter item. We were discussing this as an inter-rater consistency. So the internal item consistency measures is indicative of homogeneity, means the same. That is what a consistency of the items measures that tap the construct. In other words, hang together as a set and be capable of independently measuring the same concept. Hang together as a set. They will be coming together as a one only, but independently measuring the same concept. We are independently testing the same concept on a different basis. So consistency can be examined through the inter-item consistency and a split of reliability. Those are the two methods. That is, this method is one and this is one. So in this method, measuring reliability only based on the one method applied at a one time. You apply one method one time, then second method second time, third method third time, fourth method fourth time. Like that you will do the same concept on a different methods you will be applying. Different method at a only one time. So you will be taking a time, one time only one method you will apply, then you will get a results of all the trials that you made. So it will be the mutual relationship between the scores that you obtained for each specific item in the test that you performed or observed. The same time relation between the marks obtained for the specific question and the marks obtained for the whole test also will be ascertained. The method of measuring the reliability involves considerably statistical in nature. That is skill in correlation, psychologist, even for this internal consistency, there are two methods given by two authors. Those are 𝐻𝐻 and Richardson. 𝐻𝐻 as Richardson have given two formulas for application of this internal or inter-rater consistency method or internal item consistency method. To apply. What are the authors named by? Please remember 𝐻𝐻 and Richardson. These are having some formulas also. I will show you how the formula looks like. But as of now, try to understand this part. Right? So now next, split off. Split off name itself is indicating by. Split off means break into two parts, two halves. So as the name implies, we randomly divide all the items into intents to measure of the same construct into two tests, group number 1, group number 2. The complete instrument is administered on the sample of people and total scores that are calculated for each randomly divided half means halves. They will also use the word called as an halves, HALVES. halves means making into two parts which are equal parts. Internal one is a qualitative in nature, yes. Done. Then after performing this part number 1 test, part number 2 test, we will combine the results. That comes under the split off method. That's about the reliability 4 types. And there are qualitative research reliability types also there. Kirk as well as Miller discuss 3 kinds of reliability. As per the formulation Kirk and Miller, there are 3 types of reliability, which is the 2021 question. Qualitative study is reliable. So whether your qualitative study is reliable or not, if you wanted to know, these are the 3 types of reliability you have to check. Kindly type in this channel only, in this Achievers Adda YouTube channel only, I made a separate video for these 3 reliability: diachronic, as well as quixotic, as well as synchronic reliability. Kindly look at that one, because I am not going to explain now again. That is just a 15 or 10 minutes video which is there. You can just watch that one. Here I just wanted to take the opportunity to explain the remaining concepts. Kirk and Miller. Done. So let us now go into the main aspect which I am trying to tell you. These all total PDFs which I am going to show you now are from the 𝐬𝐴𝐻. I will share the link, but as of now, listen to this part. 𝐬𝐴𝐻. Listen to this one. So here there are many things. If at all you wanted to see, 𝐻𝐵 materialities, validity, types of validity already we completed, factorial and all. Reliability we completed, types of reliability also we completed. But the next part is that I think not this one. Okay, here it is. Concepts of reliability and validity. I will just show you something which is asked in the recent exam, how the statements have directly picked up. Arey yaar. Did you ever saw the 2021 PYQ triangulation concept? Concept of triangulation. 3 to 4 questions are there here. 3 to 4 question triangulation concept. Triangulation concept. I will make a separate video for this triangulation concept. I just wanted to show you something. That is why I am just using all these PDFs. This is a PYQ. 4 statements what they given about the triangulation, as it is they have taken. As it is they have taken. Look at this statement. Methodological triangulation refers to what we use different methods in a research process. Theoretical triangulation is the way that we use various theoretical perspective in a research. Now apart from this, I can also show you ethical consideration are the threats. This is what given. Seedha 3 statements. These 4 statements are written in one of the question of 2021. Elders and identify the following ethical consideration in the research must bear in mind. Protecting a subject from the physical and psychological harm. Protecting the subject privacy and confidentiality. protecting the subject against the unjustified deception, acquiring an informed consent of the subject. Right? This comes under ethical considerations of a researcher must keep in mind. This is also PYQ point 2021. Right? Now, I can show the remaining question in a single, just it is a 14-page PDF only, but how many questions they have, they are able to take it. Now this is also another 14 pages PDF. Look at here. Threats to the internal and external validity. Threats they asked. Parallel form, internal consistency, which I told now the formula of Kudar and Richardson. Kudar and Richardson, these are the formulas. Kudar and Richardson estimates of a reliability. So the formula is this one, n by n minus 1 into 1 minus e pq divided by standard deviation square. So this much depth is not required for us, but just for your knowledge. Here it is. Look at. Threats to the internal validity, 2021 question, 2020, both questions are there. Test to the internal validity, look at. By triangulation I told I will make a separate video. For that also again and again if you ask what should I do by? That is a small concept to be explained in an elaborative way. So threats to internal validity, confounding, selection of bias, history, maturation, repeated testing, instrumental change, regression towards the mean, mortality, diffusion, compensatory rivalry, as well as experimenter bias. This total threats of internal validity are given as an option, but out of this 11 there are 7 or 6 I think which is given. They asked us to identify which are threats to the internal validity. Which are threats to the internal validity they asked. Which are threats to the internal validity they are asked. So what are internal validity actually? Internal validity means something which is valid in some situation only. Something which is valid in some situation. In this particular situation it is valid. But whether this is valid in other situations or not, I cannot able to say. That is what internal validity. But what are the hindrances or the barriers in the internal validity which are having a threats? It's confounding and selection of the bias, as well as selection bias, history, maturation, repeated testing and instrumental change. This will take a time of minimum to minimum 30 minutes. I am going to upload a separate video for this also. Threats to the internal validity, threats to the external validity. Both I will make it and I'll upload in a single video. Right? Now you are thinking, now are you going to tell anything or not? Why? I can tell threats to the external validity. This is also asked. Post-test as well as pre-test situations, aptitude, treatment, interaction, these are all there. So that's about the and total. That's it. Here anything left over? And there is a one question which is asked about the norms in the research. Norms also asked, right? Norms in the research. This is what norms. Here only it is. Under the validity it will come. This is norms. Norms are nothing but what? Norms refers to the typical performance level of a certain group of individuals. So this is usually used in the psychological testing. So just raw score which is a meaningless until supplemented by the additional data. So until unless you add the separate additional extra data, these are going to be a meaningless data. That's what we call it as an norms. Norms is an typical performance level of a certain group of individual, and in any psychological test raw score is meaningless because raw score is nothing but which don't have any analysis. We can't do analysis of the raw score. Raw scores should be arranged in a systematic manner and purified, and when you add the something analysis tables and all, then only it will be having a proper meaning to interpret further. So therefore, cumulative total psychological test is generally inferred as an norms that depict the score of the standardized sample. Yes, this is an IGNOU material which is available in the 𝐴𝐵 website. You can just download this one. Otherwise, I'll be making this 3 PDFs in the Telegram. You can look into it. Thank you. I hope you like this session. If you like it, kindly hit a like button, subscribe to the channel and share with your friends so that I will also get more subscribers and more views. Then I will try to make more and more sessions like this. Thank you. Have a great day. Good night, everyone.